Oh, you know where I'm going. Texas, minus 13.5, minus 132, hosting Oklahoma State because we are the home team in Dallas. This committee, this crappy committee that says, oh, here's the criteria we have. You don't care about criteria. All you care about is the eyeball test. Let's be honest. You essentially admitted it last week. So Texas needs to put on a show in Dallas. Oklahoma State is not a good team. They run first, and guess what? They will run right into the strength of that Texas defense. The best third down defense in the country. A Texas team which has the best defensive line in the country. You guys, the Cowboys, you better saddle up because you mess with the bull, you get the horns. This line opened at minus 12.5. It's at 15 in some spots. The Horns have to make a statement. They will make a statement, and Texas will win the Big 12 championship for the first time in more than a decade. Texas minus 13.5. Go, Horns, go! Speaking of big ones, the big uglies, Iowa, Michigan, Big Ten championship game. How are you going to bet this, Kate?
Well, let's just bring this back a little bit. If I were in the club, Iowa would be the room that you don't want to find yourself in because it is going to be the ugliest room in all of that club because this is the ugliest game. This is embarrassing. I mean, I'm embarrassed to be an Iowa grad for my education to come from this school because Iowa's first half points at actually, you know what? BetMGM doesn't even list Iowa's points because it's that bad. Other books, do some shopping. Other books have Iowa's first half over 2.5 for their total points. Second half of a point. I don't think Iowa's going to score it all in this game, to be honest. Another book just has the lowest you can take, or the lowest over you can take for Iowa is 7.5, and that's plus 185. So you can't even get like a minus 110 on Iowa's total because it's so low that books aren't even setting it that low. Both teams to score 10 plus points in this game, 10 points in a conference championship game, plus 225 for yes. That's insane. Michigan's going to roll. I would take them to cover the 23.5. I would take their team total over, even though Iowa's defense is its bread and butter. I still think Michigan can score here. And I would take Iowa's team total, if you can even find that out there, under whatever it is. I would not be shocked if Iowa does not find the end zone in this game. I think it's going to be a bloodbath. And Michigan is just going to absolutely roll. They could cover the full game total, which I believe is around 35, which almost seems too high. I think they could cover that by themselves.
We all know about the Duke's Mayo Bowl, right? If you win the Duke's Mayo Bowl, you get a huge vat of mayonnaise dumped on you. Well, the Pop-Tarts Bowl is taking it a step further because they will have the first ever edible mascot. So if you win the Pop-Tarts Bowl, there's a Pop-Tart mascot, and the winning team will be encouraged to take a bite out of the mascot. He's got these googly eyes, a big Pop-Tart walking around. And then if you win, you run over to the mascot and you start eating the mascot. Is this a good idea?
I think so. It sounds delicious, other than the fact that they can't choose the flavor. Because if you win the Pop-Tarts Bowl, you should be able to choose whichever flavor you want. Because certain flavors are way better than others when it comes to Pop-Tarts. Because I think they decided on berry. Like, come on, you're not going to do frosted strawberry, the OG of them all. So for Pop-Tarts flavors, how does the pecking order go for you? Because obviously I hinted at it. Frosted strawberry has to be number one.
Oh,
I like the brown sugar cinnamon one, just for a change of pace. And then I think there's one called Hot Fudge Sundae that tastes like dessert. Maybe it's a little too sweet for breakfast, but it's also very good. Do you have any like kind of wild flavors of Pop-Tarts that you actually like?
No, I'm very basic. I like what I like, and I always go back to it. Brown sugar. Oh, baby. That's my jam. I used to crush brown sugar Pop-Tarts, and then you want to put butter on top and just make it just as fatty as possible. Oh, even better. Yeah.
Why do you need butter?
Because it makes it even more delicious. That's why.
It feels like Bill Belichick may be looking for a job soon. Maybe he can be our consultant. Do you think Bill Belichick's days are numbered in New England?
I think they definitely are. I would be shocked if he returned as the head coach next season. I think that I don't want to say he is trying to lose, but he doesn't seem to be doing anything actively to help to make the team improve. I mean, it just seems like the basicness of it right now is he and Mac Jones, I do not think like each other, because you hear Mac Jones in interviews on Odyssey Station WEI yesterday or 2 days ago saying that he was asked, what are your one-on-one conversations like with Belichick during the week? And he said it varies from week to week, never mentioned Belichick's name, and went on this answer about how he seeks advice from many people and just went into his whole, his basic, like, I have to get better, and never mentioned Belichick's name once. And it seems almost like Belichick is playing Mac Jones out of spite because he doesn't like him and wants him to be put in a situation where he looks very foolish. And I don't know if that's true or if that even would be something that Belichick would think of to do, but it seems like their relationship has soured, and it feels like Belichick wants to move on from here. And based on reports that have come out, it seems more likely than it did at the beginning of the season, obviously. But even, I mean, when this is what's confusing, is the news of his contract extension was announced, and then suddenly it's like, oh, he wants to be out of here. So I don't know why that information would have been reported and acknowledged. And then, oh yeah, well, he wants to go to the Chargers or the Giants or somewhere, or the Commanders. So it's very confusing, because I feel like it would be a great ending to his career if he broke the wins record with the Patriots, with the team that he won so many Super Bowls with. But I don't see how he is going to win anything else with the Patriots. And I think the bottom line for him is, yes, the wins record, but he also, I mean, maybe wants to win a Super Bowl. I feel like that's his goal every season, is to win. And I don't think he sees himself doing that with the Patriots any longer. And I would be absolutely shocked if he returned to the Patriots next season.
What do you think has to happen for Luka Doncic to win MVP? Because it feels like he is one of the favorites to win it every single preseason. But then the season rolls around. He puts up monster numbers. I don't think anybody's accusing him of not scoring enough. But do you think the Mavericks as a team have to be better? Because I kind of go back and forth. I feel like the NBA, like, you kind of have to play for a good team. But I feel like we've had some players that have played for, like, not the best teams, but teams that are playoff teams. Do you think Luka can win MVP, or do you think it's going to go to yet another big man?
I think it's going to go to yet another big man. I also would say this, and maybe this is too simplistic to say. Can you imagine Luka Doncic going his entire career without winning an MVP? I feel like that would be impossible. Well, it's possible, but you know what I mean? He's so good and so brilliant. I can't imagine that he doesn't grab at least one in his career. Is this the year? I don't know, but the Mavs do have to be good enough. I feel like, unlike other sports in the NBA, your team has to be good for you to win the MVP.
Well, we've seen one thing from the writers is that when they feel like somebody should win the MVP, they give that person the MVP.
Yes,
Isn't that true. What we saw last year with Joel Embiid? I think so many people saw him have so many good years, and I said, well, he needs to win an MVP at some point, right? So let's just give it to him this year. It's not like he had a bad year. He certainly was, one of the top 3 candidates. It's just, in retrospect, you look at the year that Nikola Jokic had, and it feels like he was simply punished because he won it the year before. So maybe we'll see something like that from the voters when it comes to Luka Doncic. But I don't know. He's going to continue to put up monster numbers. We'll see if it results in an MVP.